So if your credit rating isn't the best, it's not necessarily the end of the road when it comes to buying a property, because there are lenders out there that can consider applications for customers that have got not the most perfect of credit histories. High street lenders tend to not like the idea of lending to people with a bad credit history. It just increases their risk profile, and high street lenders, to be fair, can be a little bit risk averse at times. In terms of the things that might stop you getting a mortgage on your credit history with a high street lender, it starts at kind of missed payments. So the odd missed payment, lenders can turn a blind eye to, especially if you've got a good deposit going down. Things like defaults are more difficult. 1 or 2 defaults in the last 6 years, high street lender may take a chance on that. But once you get into multiple defaults, multiple CCJs, that's county court judgments, or if you've been bankrupt or repossessed in the past, that's the kind of thing really that you're going to have to look for a specialist lender, and the high street lenders probably won't be interested in granting a mortgage to that type of applicant. There are some specialist lenders that will ignore mobile phone defaults. So back in the 80s and 90s, catalogue providers were the worst culprits for just banging a default on a customer's credit file just because they're a bit late with the payment. And in the last sort of 10-15 years, the mobile phone companies have replaced that as the provider we often see on credit reports, in terms of being quite quick to mark customers' accounts in default. In fact, so much so that we have got access to specialist lenders that will completely ignore things that have happened on your mobile phone. Because you may need to look for a specialist lender when you're looking for a mortgage with a bad credit history, you are more risk. Now, there are lenders that exist there, but they're not going to be competing in terms of interest rate with the high street lenders. They're not in that marketplace. So the high street lender tends to be the main of the customer with a clean credit history, and the specialist lenders will look at a more overview, and they'll sort of be a bit more forgiving in terms of who they will lend to. But even those lenders have got very strict rules about the number of defaults, number of CCJs, and number of missed payments that they will allow. So it's a commercial model, and those lenders will definitely charge a higher rate of interest than a high street lender, but they're probably not expecting to keep you as a customer for the full 25 or 30 years of the mortgage. It's what we call a stepping stone lender. So you might be with that lender for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, but the idea is that if you can keep your nose clean in terms of your credit profile, keep those mortgage payments up from the specialist lender and granted the mortgage in the first place, and the idea is that you'll look to remortgage to a high street lender once that fixed rate or initial discounted period comes to its end. I think you should use a mortgage broker if you've got issues like this on your credit report. The rules that these specialist lenders impose are very complicated to understand. So it's kind of how many defaults you've had in the last 12 months, 24 months, 36 months. The different lenders have different ranges of products, and for the different ranges of products, lenders may want to reduce their risk by asking to put more deposit down. So the key thing is to get a hold of a copy of your credit report, send it in to us, we'll take a look at it, or we can obtain a soft search on you to see what's registered against you, and then we'll do our best to get the cheapest deal that's available with a view to getting you back with a high street lender on the best possible rate in the future. Thanks for watching the video. We do rely on user-generated content, so please subscribe if you found the information useful, and send me a question in the comments below, or drop me an email and I'll do my best to answer it.